Yeah.
Boys, Pochettino. We ain't spoken, really. Bottled it at the weekend. Chelsea fans want him sacked. Talk to me.
Can I start, please, Staffy? I have a lot on my
Yeah, you
chest.
did say you want to speak about it. So
Yeah, I want to speak on Poch. You know, I'm so guys. Me and Staffy agree. Do you understand how much, how shit your club is to make Staffy and Hussam agree on a football take? That's the wild. You know, I just want to say, I actually came to a realization yesterday. I made my point clear on one of my streams yesterday. I asked someone to do a Satad Ziad. He used to come on the terrace as well. I asked him to make a United Chelsea combined 11. He proceeded to put 8 Chelsea players in a United Chelsea combined 11. You know, I've actually realized the biggest problem.
Can you say it out loud? Because so Terry can know what's the combined 11.
His combined 11 was Onana, Gusto. He went, I think he went Colwell and Varane.
Cowell.
Caicedo, Enzo, and Palmer. Jackson. I think
Sterling.
he went Højlund.
Sterling and Højlund.
And Sterling. So that's the team that he went. I said no left back. So you know what I find real funny? Chelsea fans actually really think they have a good team. Chelsea Football Club fans actually look at their team and they think we actually have a good team. And this is the thing that pisses me off with these Chelsea fans. Like, you speak to Don, he tells you like Mudryk is better than Martinelli and has higher potential, and then he breaks it down for 7 minutes and he's still wrong. If Martinelli is one dimensional, Mudryk is no dimensional. Let's just get that out of the way. You speak to these Chelsea fans and they actually genuinely believe that they have a good team, and I feel like they keep blaming the manager because they have that Abramovich mindset. It's PTSD, but like in a good way, if you would like, because they had 20 years of success. Now they can't be the normal football fans that the rest of the world is. The reason why Chelsea Football Club stink, the reason why Chelsea Football Club suck, is Todd Bowley, it's Iqbali, it's all the people beneath him who have made horrendous decision after horrendous decision after horrendous decision, signing 20 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old kids with no experience whatsoever and bringing them together to try create a team. And then you bring in Mauricio Pochettino, who's a seasoned Premier League expert professional. He's been there, he's done that. And somehow blaming him for why Chelsea suck right now is funny to me. And the story of Chelsea is always the same story. And the game against Leeds proves it. Because the game against Leeds, they played like shit, but they won the game. They're still moaning. The game against Liverpool, I was already giving, by the way, I know we haven't done a show since then. You can ask Staffy this, Terry. I was already giving the well done to the academy graduates speech. I fully thought we were going to lose. I saw Gallagher hit the post. I saw Gallagher miss a one-on-one with Kelleher. I saw about 3, 4, 5 clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities all missed. I sat there and I literally gave up on that game. I fully gave up. And Chelsea Football Club ended up losing that final. You look at Chelsea right now, and Chelsea fans come and tell me, but Hussam, we're not an 11th place team. Based on what? Based on what? Based on your potential 3-4 years from now, or based on the here and now? Name 1, 2, 3, 4 incredible Enzo Caicedo performances this season. Name 3 or 4 incredible Colwell or Disasi or blah 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 games this season. They don't exist. What have Enzo and Caicedo done that has warranted that price tag? And it's funny because, you know, Chelsea fans will tell you, Kobe Mainoo's only played 12 games. Yeah, you signed Enzo Fernandez for 110 million based on 6 games at the World Cup. The only reason you paid 150 million for Moises Caicedo is because Liverpool Football Club came in for him. Now, of course, there are Chelsea fans in the chat who are like, Hussam, Liverpool wanted Caicedo in the summer. Staffy broke this down perfectly. I think it was a week ago when he was like, Caicedo was the final piece for Liverpool. When you're the final piece, you are worth 150 million. Case study Declan Rice, perfect example. Declan Rice was bought for 105 million because Arsenal Football Club believed that this is the final piece that's going to lead them to a Premier League title. Liverpool Football Club believed that Moises Caicedo is going to be the final piece leading them to a Premier League title, so we were willing to pay 115 million. That's not the same as starting your rebuild and paying 115 million for a Brighton midfielder who's had one good season. It's completely different. Completely two different worlds. Chelsea Football Club has been ruined by Todd Bowley. Todd Bowley has ruined the Chelsea culture. Iqbali has ruined the Chelsea culture. Chelsea Football Club were a winning football club my entire lifetime as a teenager and as an adult for 3/4 of it. They used to win, sack manager, win again, and then sack manager, and then win again. And that formula worked, and that formula was successful. This guy comes in, destroys all the foundations of Chelsea, decides to start a youth project at Chelsea with Brighton people in charge. There's a reason why Chelsea are in this position right now, because they're close to Brighton. That's the Brighton mentality right there that's showing in their team. The Brighton mentality is crystal clear to see in this team, because these owners and these people who are in charge of Pochettino are the reason why Chelsea are in this place. And by the way, let's get something out of the way right here, right now. Me and Staffy, and I know I speak for him, will never ever claim that Pochettino's faultless. We recognize Pochettino's made mistakes. Everyone, the biggest advocate for Poch will tell you Poch has made mistakes. But to sit here and claim that it's Pochettino's fault for where Chelsea are right now is absolute lunacy. I can name you 5-6 games this season in which Pochettino has coached wins for Chelsea where they failed to deliver. That Nicholas Jackson finished last season. How many times, last game, sorry. How many times he had the opportunity to do that this season? Mudryk, how many times he had the opportunity to do that this season? Gallagher, how many times he had the opportunity to do that this season? Countless times. The City away game, Chelsea could have been 3-4-0 up in the first half alone. Alone in the first half could have been 3-4-0 up from a game where pre-game Terry done shows on the terrace where none of them were confident. All of them said standard City win. And then they come back post-match and they still criticize Poch. You have the Abramovich mentality. This is your issue. When you realize Chelsea Football Club are a new football club, not because of Poch, not because of you lowering your standards and all of that shit. It's because of Todd Bowley. If you are a Chelsea fan who wants your football club to be successful, you all need to be outside Stamford Bridge protesting Bowley out, Iqbali out, Winstanley out, and the other guy, Stewart, out. If you say all of these guys out, then you can claim Poch is not good enough. But at this moment in time, if Jurgen Klopp himself, if Klopp or Pep done a tag team and took over Chelsea, they still wouldn't make Chelsea a top 4 club with this current team, because they're young, they're inexperienced, and they're crap, and they're overrated, and they have so many shit underperforming players. It stinks. Even the player that they brought in that was supposed to be experienced, been there and done that in Sterling, even he is inconsistent. He got locked up by Bradley at Wembley. Bradley's like his son's age. Tells you all you need to know about Chelsea Football Club. So Pochettino should not be sacked. They could lose the next 5 games, and I would still say Pochettino should not be sacked, because the players are shit, and it's the management above Pochettino who has ruined Chelsea. People need to wake up. Thank you.
I like that rant. That was presidential.
What a great speech. What a great speech. Great speech.
I'll say this. I'll throw this in. I don't think you're wrong in every area. So I want to make sure I state that in the beginning. I do agree that the people that run the club are ultimately to blame. I do agree that there is a lot of inexperience in the squad. And I do think some Chelsea fans overhype not the potential of those players, but where those players are now. They do. I see the way I see Caicedo do some good things in games, but I'm not seeing the same Caicedo dominating midfielders as we did at Brighton. But that conversation very rarely happens. It gets shut down really quickly. But I still think Poch needs to be sacked. And I'll tell you as to why. Maybe it's a bias from me because I don't rate him as a top manager. I think he can't handle the pressure. What he did in extra time against you guys is for me, it's an example of his cowardice, and I believe you'll see more and more of that over the course of time. I believe he is a coward of a manager. His mantra is, I'm going to try not to lose rather than I'm going to try and win. And that's fine. You know, there's a level for that. But I do think as well, you can Chelsea fans could do everything you're saying, and they'd be right to. But I think they can also sack this manager. I think this manager, and I'll kind of throw your point back at you by saying this. You're right, Todd Bowley and the people that are running it have done a bad job. One of the mistakes they made is hiring this manager.
Disagree.
So for me, I understand they've got to change a lot more than just the manager. So I think it would be stupid of Chelsea fans. I think Don is wrong. Don essentially, he doesn't quite say this, so he'll call me out for it.
He's always wrong.
But Don implies if we had the right manager, we'd be cooking pretty much. And then give us a few extra, like more experienced players. And I actually think you could make him admit, if you pushed him hard enough, I think we'd be back near a title race. I think that is... No, I think he would. I think he believes that.
Because he thought Chelsea would finish third.
Before you go, can I ask Terry a question? Terry, I want to ask you a question. Genuine question. I know Steph wants to go into stop, but I have to ask you this because I want to get you in where I'm going with this. We're in the Carabao Cup final. The whole world is watching. I'm Enzo. I'm Caicedo. I'm looking across from me. I see Bobby Clark and I see McConnell. On a reel. Fuck every word Mauricio Pochettino says. It does not matter what Poch tells you. At that moment in time, if I see two kids with no beard who have school tomorrow across from me on the football pitch, and I don't pull my socks up and I play and I try something, McConnell, who's a kid who looks like Tomlin's cousin, in the 115th minute, dribbled past the entire Chelsea midfield. What's that got to do with Pochettino? All this cowardice and all this stuff is to just scapegoat Pochettino because they don't want to, you know why? Because Don doesn't want to come here and say Enzo's crap, Caicedo's crap, we overpaid. They don't want to say that.
I agree that some people are doing that and they're putting everything on the manager. It's not all on him. But I've heard you talk about how Jurgen Klopp's teams play, they're an image of him, aren't they?
Yes.
So if you have a manager like Pep, a manager like Klopp, a manager like Fergie, where their clubs are a mirror image of them, for me, the logic works in reverse as well. When a team is cowardly, it's a mirror image of the coach. And I do believe that this Chelsea team is currently playing. And by the way, I think when Graham Potter went into Chelsea, I think he went in there and had an identity crisis, which is a sign of a low confidence. And the team was a reflection of that. There was low confidence. And I think that, typically speaking, we had a Chelsea fan that came on the other day, Carlito, that thinks that managers are only accountable for 20 to 25% of what a team achieves. And I think that's wrong. I think that the great managers are hugely influential on what a club achieves. Equally, I think they're hugely influential in a team being bad. Now, some people think, Terry, but you're being a hypocrite because you always say the owners at Man United are a bigger issue. Yes, they are, because they're the ones that are hiring these bad managers time and time again. It becomes, I'm more focused on that. And that's where I'm at with Chelsea. I think the issue is Todd Bowley. We agree on that. We agree that there are players that need to be replaced and players that need some experience around them. Yes. But I also think at the same time, Poch is a problem. But where we agree, I think we agree on every point but the sacking of the manager. Where I do agree with you.
Why do you think he should be sacked? Why?
Because I don't think he's, I think you can fix everything and he's still going to trip on the final hurdle. I don't think he's good enough. So my final, but he's shown to be a coward. The problem is now is he's already, I don't think he's lost the dressing room. I just think he's already tarnished. So it sounds mad because they're $1 billion in, but they need to start again.